says a mob came to their home looking for Kukizo people to attack. Mary and Irene escaped, but James was beaten to death. It would be 7 months before his disfigured body was returned to them. For Mary, some days are harder than others.
May the trina galu pasata na dunia kung intended chan just one of remembrance abo separation data bin program naglang program mo na sige natin ang kakikot na yun.
Mary now lives in Churachampur, a hilly district about 60 kilometers from the capital. It was once home to both the Kukizo, a largely Christian minority group, and the Meiteis, who are mostly Hindu. But now, just as the Kukizo were run out of Imphal, here in Churachampur, almost all Meiteis have fled. According to police records, 136 Kukizo people have been killed in the conflict. Mary finds strength in sharing her grief with others who've lost loved ones. More than 2 years on, many in the Kukizo community believe there's only one way out of this conflict.
I want to request the government of India, that is the central government, to acknowledge our separation. Unless and until we get a political solution, we are not going to remain silent.
The Kukizo people, who make up 16% of Manipur's population, live mostly in the state's vast hilly regions. One of India's most disadvantaged groups, the Kukizos are a so-called scheduled tribe, entitling them to special benefits, including reserved places in educational institutes and government jobs. The Meitei majority live in the valley and have come to dominate state politics and the capital. It had long been a delicate balance. Then, in May 2023, violent clashes broke out between these two communities after a local court recommended granting the Meiteis the same special status as the Kukizos. Across the state, police armories were looted as mobs from the two communities went on a rampage.
We are breaking to you on the Manipur violence. Government has issued shoot at sight orders in extreme cases.
In the following weeks, hundreds were killed and many more were injured. Even the powerful were not spared.
I do swear in the name of God that
Vunsagin Valte was an elected Kukizo member of Manipur's Legislative Assembly. Just days into the conflict, he was returning from a meeting with the state's then Chief Minister when he was brutally attacked by a mob.
they stopped him on his way back home. Even the PSO is from the Meitei community, so the mob told him to flee away. So my father and my father driver were captured by the mob. So my father was beaten.
Valte's driver was killed in the attack. The lawmaker was flown to New Delhi, where he spent 2 years being treated for his injuries. He only returned to Churachampur a few months ago and now visits his doctor daily, accompanied by armed security personnel.
I have come across one or two kind of these cases only in my entire practices. There's a bleeding inside the brain, which could make the patient instantly die itself. And also he has a multiple fracture on the sinuses or the facial bone, which he has fracture here, fracture on the fingers, and all multiple post-traumatic contractures.
For Valde's family, it's hard to believe that 2 years after he was attacked in broad daylight, just minutes away from Manipur's police headquarters, not a single person has been arrested.
We appeal to the Indian Prime Minister that the case should be taken up by the highest agency of India. But till now we don't get any result. My father is from BJP party, the majority party of India right now. So if he is not safe in our own state, then who will get the safety?
Valde echoes his son's words.
My feeling is the same with my children. I want justice to everybody, every one of us. Thank you.
As clashes continued, Manipur's chief minister, a Meitei leader, was forced to quit in February 2025, and the state came under the direct control of the national government. Tens of thousands of security personnel were deployed to prevent more violence. Today, a fragile calm has been restored. But it's come at a cost. People can no longer move freely around the state. We're on our way from the Kuki-dominated Churachandpur district to the Imphal Valley, which is a predominantly Meitei area. We're soon approaching what is known as the buffer zone, which is a de facto border between these two communities. They're not allowed to cross over from one side to the other. There's about half a dozen security checkposts there manned by Indian security forces, but we won't be allowed to film them. Injured lawmaker Valde claims his attackers were from the Arambai Bengal, an armed Meitei supremacist group. They've been accused of committing murder, sexual assaults, and burning Kukizo homes and churches. Allegations they deny. They see themselves as heroes. Today, they've organized an event to mark 2 years since the start of the hostilities.
是在弄完之后发挥，佢咪得有那摆得给玻璃的来玩的吧？因为他们呢，他其实没当红，会上面妈妈头会特起吧，这个我没听我那么的，会没听我上面妈妈。
According to police records, 116 Meiteis have lost their lives in the conflict. Many more were driven out of Kukizo-dominated districts in the hills and are now struggling to rebuild their lives in the valley.
但是呢，奔不着，两天呢，几度经过跑位，所以民族公的情呢，觉得，apa isa da sa gisu career na singba, kung di future burak ba, atat ay tarak pa, adagi, apa igi, kung siya da, pagi depression lakpa.
They say, despite the cost, they need to continue.
Hello guys, welcome to my channel Master Video. If you guys love this kind of driving simulator, please like and subscribe my channel. Help me to grow my channel. This is video about my family. Inspire me to make maximum videos for you guys. So please like and subscribe my channel.